On our 3-day cruise aboard the Noordam of the Holland American Line, we stopped first at Juneau in the panhandle of Alaska. On the 3rd day, we would leave the Noordam at Skagway after sailing up the Lynn Canal. But this day, the 2nd day, we spent in Juneau watching whales. In the morning, the Noordam sailed up the narrow Gastineau Channel to Juneau and docked, giving us the afternoon free. We had arranged to take a bus to Elk Bay and there take a tour boat out into the channel to watch humpback whales feeding. Okay, we're on the tour boat now in the Elk Bay, on our way to presumably see whales. In pursuit of these whale sightings, we ventured out into the channel, this one called the Favorite Channel, which afforded us great views of the surrounding mountains and Mendenhall Glacier. This was a very unusually clear June day. A lot of prime mountain scenery here about. We're 9 miles from Juneau. As we pull away from the shore, we see more and more of that massif. That's the Mendenhall Glacier coming into the center of the screen there. Everybody's crowded over at the starboard rail looking for whales, but I don't think we're going to see any. Yeah, I'm taking pictures of the tourists here. More reliable. See them, huh? Yeah. Whatever Joanne saw, I didn't see. There was a whale blowing out there someplace, but I never saw him. And what I wouldn't give to have a camera with a rangefinder. I can't shoot anything outside with this camera. I can't see the screen, and I don't know where I'm putting it. Mostly we spent an hour looking out on a scene like this. It got pretty tedious. After an hour of trying to catch infrequent glimpses of a cow and her calf, who seemed quite reluctant to appear in public, the skipper got a call on the radio from some other tour boats reporting a lot of activity further south down the channel, and he turned the boat around and headed south. At our new location, we found a cluster of boats gathered around a lot of whale activity. Perhaps you can see those whales blowing just off there in the distance. At last, our patience was rewarded, and we found ourselves in the midst of quite a group of whales. These humpbacks don't pod, but they do cooperate with one another. They dive below their prey, corral them on a column of bubbles, and drive them to the surface. They burst through the surface, mouths agape. It's quite a spectacular sight, and to my eternal regret, I did not get a picture of that. This hunting technique is known as bubble netting. The tour guide said they rarely observed this phenomenon. This is what a humpback looks like full scale. We didn't see them broach, possibly because the whales knew we weren't insurance salesmen. These animals have lungs the size of Volkswagen Beetles, and they have to expel all the air in those lungs in a matter of seconds. By now it's getting late and high time for us to get back. Heading back. managed the boat today said this is one of the best days for whale sighting they'd ever experienced. Whether I get pictures or not is very doubtful because this camera does not do well in the wild.